Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahwashai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, pushing this 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahwashai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. And salutations to you sincere Archimedes that are pushing this gospel in righteousness and sincerity. Alright, so what we're going to go into today, the title of this lesson will be Vote of No Confidence. That's why I have it right here on the on the screen. So the selections for the next president, and the word president, it goes back to the Latin word, and it's a compound word, pres or pres meaning, pre meaning before, and sidere or that part that derived from the sident is the Latin word meaning to sit. So the word president just basically means to sit before. And you're just we're just a few days before that election. And the reason I had to go into a video about this is because I remember all the previous elections that went down in Babylon the Great, how it affected the whole earth, now it affected the whole world. And the whole world was basically watching the US election. That's the thing that happened today, especially now, in which these elections are linked so powerfully to prophecy. Because the next president is going to be president that will bring about the downfall. It will be president that will be on seat when the downfall and the destruction of Esau's kingdom comes to pass. Okay, so this situation is that this situation basically is that this next election is what will kickstart a huge unrest. It's what will kickstart all the prophecies that are written of in Second Esdras. What will kickstart the major judgments. And this election, we see how heavily, your, and when I say you, I mean the 2/3. The leaders of the 2/3, the leaders of those people are pushing them to vote mostly in favor of Biden, and usually through some form of exhibitionism. Because you see how because you saw the videos about basically the strip club thing, and all the celebrities buck naked talking about vote for Biden. Alright, and this place is on its. I mean, that just shows you that this place is on its way out. This is truly the end. So let me get the definition of vote of no confidence, and it reads: when the members of a political party vote over whether or not their leader should step down, usually over their controversial sidings than laziness or ineffectiveness. So this is showing right here that you people, that you people have no power, even though Esau would have you believe that you have all the power. These devils have you believe that you don't actually hold the power, but in reality you have no power, because even the decision to take out a leader, or the decision to remove a leader from a seat or from government is made by that leader's party. Right, that's why Trump was still in power even after the so-called impeached him. Alright, showing you that democracy is nothing more than a farce. There's no such thing as power for the people by the people and all that other nonsense. Alright, and the reason why I use this term is because this was when I was working in the world before I got this truth, and this was the answer as to why I did not vote. Because I already knew that it was a sham. It was just a setup. That there was no actual decision being made by the people in order to put that person in. Because right now you have two presidential candidates in Trump and Biden, and neither of them, right? Nobody can open their mouth and say that either of them is a qualified president. Because Trump has shown in more ways than one his blatant ignorance, and Biden is an old man that is damn near the old man that is damn near suffering from complete dementia. Alright, so let me just let's jump to the precepts. That's where the bread and butter is. So this is the book of Deuteronomy. I'll start from the 17th chapter. I'll start from the 14th verse, and it reads: when thou art come unto the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahweh thy power shall choose. And Lord knows that neither Trump nor Biden was chosen. Alright. One from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Alright, so when you know at least that there are two men that are first of all incompetent, old, and most importantly, Edomites. Alright, why would you bother to choose anyone? Why would you bother to choose any one of them? First of all, we're supposed to pick leaders among our people, and not just any random Jake, but one that fears Yahweh or Shai, that will follow his laws righteously. But our people are looking to modern day Egypt for their salvation. Let's just go to that. They're looking to modern day Egypt for their salvation. So let's go to that. That's Lamentations. Lamentations 4 verse 17. Yeah, Lamentations 4 verse 17. And it reads, "As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us." And of all nations, Edomites, the antithesis of us as Israelites. And antithesis is also a compound word, meaning against proposition. Alright, if you really want to get down to it, we only have one king, but that's not the lesson right now. We should focus on what is important, which is the fact that we should not even be in those election polls voting for either of them. Reason one being, as Israelites, you should vote for Israelites, and you should vote for righteous Israelites and not just anybody, especially not Edomites. Alright, so let me go to the book of Isaiah. And of course, voting for them is going off. If that is the confirmation you need, that's for you to stay out of those election polls. Voting for them is going off. Right, putting kings over you is already going off, but now putting heathens, especially Edomites. Alright, I cannot stress enough how bad that is. So this is the book of Isaiah 30, and I'll start from verse 1. "Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion." That's right, because the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are two sides of the same coin, or rather two horns of the same draconic. Let's just get that, the draconic lamb. Let's go to that, because this is all prophecy, and all these things have already been prophesied from the get-go. And our people just don't have those eyes to see these things. So this is the book of Revelation 13 verse 11. "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." And those two horns representing the two different parties of the two different parties, the two party system, I should say. Back in the ancient Rome, it was I think it was I can't remember the exact names. Not the plebeians. I can't remember the names, but basically now in this current day Roman Empire, it is the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. The two ones of this, because we know that both of them are still set up by the same elites of Esau, Edom. Alright, and Joe Biden isn't going to save you. Donald Trump isn't going to make Babylon great again. So let me jump once again to another precept. Isaiah 31. So this is the book of Isaiah 31, and it reads, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. Alright, yet he also is wise and will bring evil. I will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horse is flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fall together." It's like they all shall fail together. So the Most High is preparing judgments for our people that want to trust in this Babylonian society, our people that want to trust in either Donald Trump or Joe Biden, because of course you've got these so-called Edomites, these two-thirds of our people that think that they are Edomites but are actually Jake. You have a lot of them. I wouldn't be surprised in that day if you see a lot of these Bible Belt evangelical Christian Edomites that think that they are Edomites, who actually turned out to be Israelites. Right, and I continue this yeah, I want to continue. That beside the point. These politicians are Edomites, all right. And that cannot be stressed. That cannot be stressed enough. And of course, they are set up. But the most important factor is that they are Edomites. Okay. And I continue from. And I think I continue from too much. So yeah. But I want to read the book of Job. The book of Job, chapter 30, and I start from verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. I'm going to jump down to verse 5. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And these are the people that you want to put over yourselves as leaders. And the Most High is going to destroy all of you that goes to vote for these devils, trusting in them above Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh. And I haven't even gotten into the martial law, the FEMA camp, the second wave of COVID, and all these other all other kinds of pandemics. World War III, Jacob's struggle being caused by the next person that you put on that seat, and militias, and even your average, amateur civilians already arming up. So that actually brings a precept to mind. The book of Joel, chapter 3. We use this one to represent the nations, but in this case, it can also be used to talk about the people. So this is the book of Joel 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Right, so that's what is going on right now. Everybody's arming up. They are going up because of the evil that's about to be brought, especially upon Babylon the Great. Everybody it's clear to see. Anybody that has eyes, anybody that has two brain cells to rub together can clearly see that these things are about to happen. Alright, so all you people that are at ease, that are sitting on your lees, and let me get that. That is the book of Zephaniah chapter 2. Woe to them that sit on their lees. Yeah, I forget the exact chapter I forget the exact chapter. So okay, Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their hearts, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil. Right? These are the times that are evil. And of course, those people that are going to, but that's going into something else. But what we're focusing on right now is how you shouldn't even think about going to vote. Because first of all, these leaders are not going to help you because they are Edomites. Okay, they are clean contrary and against our people. If you go to the book of Psalms 83, Esau is the first name that is written there. If you go to the book of any book in the Bible will clearly tell you that these devils are our enemies. All right, they're the ones that destroyed us, and took away our heritage. All right, they're the ones that tore down our temple twice. All right, these are our enemies. So let me close out with this last precept right here. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. You know how to go and bring this out. Alright, so this is the book of 2nd Ezra 15. Now start from verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cost of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. That great tribulation is about to come to Babylon the Great. Alright, and these next elections will even be the catalyst of it happening, because there are already people that are getting ready to start taking to the streets and protest, and bring forth civil unrest. You already even have martial law about to be implemented in Philadelphia, showing you the times that we're in. I know with that I'm going to end it there. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash, and Wa Abad Babal. And through the Spirit, I hope your brothers were edified. Shalom.